Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World. 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. I'm very thrilled to have our pal Rosebud Baker, our first pregnant guest on Stavvy's World. Yeah. We did have the person who impregnated you on the show
before me.
Yeah.
Well, which was an act of hate.
So we've had both. Don't worry, he was on the Patreon.
Okay, good.
The way it broke out, you will be on the free episodes. He was on the Patreon.
Okay.
Andy, we didn't mean it this way. We're sorry. It's not. I know this feels like what your whole life is like.
Think of it this way. Think of it this way, Andy. Somebody's making money off you. All right?
You'll come back on the free one to plug the new podcast. It just, we didn't plan it that way. It just happened. All right? What do you want?
He's going to be so pissed. This is what happens. Andy gets one win.
Yeah.
One win. And it's an immediate L.
And then you come up over the top.
It's just, he was killing with the baby nurse earlier today during the interview, and now, you know,
you guys should get yourselves a little Caribbean baby nurse. Yeah, you were all day you were interviewing nurses.
Ugly baby nurses.
Ugly baby nurses.
Making sure they're all ugly. There will be no hot nannies in my house.
It is a very classic trope, the cheating with the nanny.
It is a classic trope, and also, like, it's just so perfectly set up for Andy.
Yeah.
That like, if he did it, I would understand.
Right. Do you know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not an easy person to live with, and if I was married to me, and there was some hot 25-year-old like sort of traipsing around, and I was Andy, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. She deserves this.
She comes in. She makes both your lives easier.
Yeah.
Takes care of the baby. Makes breakfast every once in a while.
She's agreeable. She just anything Andy says, she agrees and she giggles. I mean, he's gonna be rock hard from the second that.
Right.
It doesn't even like. Yeah. Even getting an ugly one, I'm like, that's not quite the insurance I need. But
that's a good question, because now let's say you get the ugly one. Does it feel worse if he ends up cheating with an ugly one?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're sort of, it's high risk, high reward.
My personality is worse than that.
Her face.
Than her face.
Than her weathered face.
Fuck.
Interesting. Well, I hope if it does happen, you guys come here on Stavvy's World to really hash it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, come to us.
It'll be the first place we come. Yeah, fuck couples therapy.
No. Right come here. You know, that one, Andy. That one's going on the main one. I can promise you that.
We'll do an Oprah episode.
Yeah. I would love to transition into that.
Yeah,
to just kind of like help my friends any married friends I have, any who have come on the show separately, will come on here.
Anyone
and
who's fucked their ugly nanny.
Yeah. Just any comedian going through something major. We'll use your personal life for clicks.
That's great.
We'll use it to sell ads, basically.
Well, I mean, how is that any different than what we've been doing our whole lives?
Not at all. Not different at all. I'm just
helping out a friend.
I'm just kind of asking to take advantage of you directly. Is kind of the
go
thing.
For it.
That's basically it.
Go for it. You got the audience. We need the views. It's a perfect fucking marriage. Really.
Yes.
It's better than our marriage.
I think so. It makes more sense. It didn't happen during the pandemic. You know, this was really planned out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't in the middle of a whole. You know.
Yeah, it wasn't some traumatic life shit that just led to an insane decision that we made.
Get married in a park with N95s.
Yes.
No, we thought about starting this podcast.
This was planned. It was prepped.
Yeah.
There was an insurance policy built in.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how far along are you now?
I'm 26, almost 26 weeks. So like that in regular person time, that's 6 months.
Okay.
So I have like 3 months left.
Okay, home stretch.
I don't know why they like break it into weeks for all the pregnancy apps, like break it into weeks. So when people ask you how far along you are, you're giving them like a non-answer. Yeah. You're just like, oh, it's this many weeks. And then they have to do a bunch of fucking
divide by 4, basically.
Math. Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Right. So it's just easier to just tell them. But so 6 months. I keep like calling up the OB and being like, I think she's ready. Yeah, I feel like she's ready to come out.
You're trying to get her just like in one of those little like outside wombs. You're trying to have a preemie, so you don't have to you don't have to carry it the last 3 months.
Yeah, I'm just like, if we listen, she might need to go in one of those little glass boxes, but I think she's ready.
And they're cute. Those babies are cute as hell. They're so tiny.
They're teeny tiny.
Yeah, they're like beanie babies.
I know.
You're ready to go. You can have sushi again.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just sort of knock on the tank every once in a while.
Yep.
It's like having a pet turtle.
Have you had any weird, like, pregnant? You came in here with your own seltzer, your own banana, but that's pretty standard stuff. I feel like you'd be eating that anyway. Do you have any weird pregnancy shit going on?
I don't have cravings really. I mean, I have like I want to drink water for the first time in my life. That's like a weird, I know that's like a normal thing that you're supposed to want.
Your baby's just like begging you, please have water.
Yeah, the baby's like, can you just once in a while drink it?
I don't want cold brew.
Just once in a while. Stop feeding me seltzer as if it's water. Please stop. And I mean, I really, it is kind of like getting pregnant. You go like, oh shit, I gotta like change my mindset immediately to like a different person, a different woman's mindset. Like,
no, for sure.
And I'm trying, but it's so hard. I just like, I still stay up too late. I still like, you know, I've thought about vaping every fucking day since I got pregnant.
That's all. And you haven't.
But the only difference is like, I would say like the cravings, I'm just hungry all the fucking time.
Gotcha.
Like, I was telling you before, like, shit. Greg Stone was like, oh, you're fat for the first time. I've never...
By the way, you look great.
Thank you.
People have been talking about what a big, fat piece of shit you are. And you can't... I'm like, what? She looks great. They're out of their minds. No, I'm sorry. No one's been saying that. But you do look... I was expecting you to just be bigger.
Yeah?
You know what I mean? You look great.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Because of how traumatized Andy was. I was expecting you to have gained so much weight.
That I've just sort of bulldozed him around the house. It's just me headbutting Andy through the living room. No, he's like... And that was like early, too, in the pregnancy when he came on. I think it was like... I was like, you haven't seen anything yet.
No.
Because now I'm like physically uncomfortable. I'm like laying in bed in the middle of the night and I'll just be like, oh, like it's just like these crazy heaving sighs that come out of my mouth. I'm like, this is for the birds.
Are you running hot? Are you running hot too?
I'm hot all the time. Yeah. I'm like, is there lip sweat? I'm like, just tell me if there is, because I feel like I'm always sweating.
It really just sounds like you're living a fat man's life. This sounds like me after like having like when I've ordered $40 worth of Chinese food and eaten it by myself. And my stomach, I can't roll on my stomach because it physically hurts. That sounds like what your life is.
Dude, that is exactly what being pregnant is. I'm not even kidding. You're sweating for no reason. You can't roll over. It kind of hurts to even just go from your back to your side. And then
do you have any headaches?
Headaches all the time.
That's so now. Okay, you know what this is? You're like me off a bender where it's like I've been eating like shit. I've got a dick pill headache because they will give you those. You know, can't really breathe. Like you just being pregnant is just being the most unhealthy fat man possible. It's like a woman who's been very healthy most of her life just has to come into my life for probably
9 months.
It's
crazy. It's crazy.
That's tough.
And
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, let alone my friend.
I really feel for you. Like I'm like, I can't believe this. This is really hard. This is really hard.
I know.
I mean, sometimes you just sort of like sit down in a chair and you're like, I could cry right this second. If anybody looked me directly in my eyes and asked how I'm doing, I'll cry. Like you can't look at me in my eyes and ask. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it'll be an honest answer.
It'll happen. Yeah. So just no cravings though. Just a lot of eating more of what you're already eating. Basically,
a lot of just
no
eating.
Weird shit.
Yeah, no weird shit. I mean, I don't know. It's really just like I just want to eat all the fucking time, and that is weird for me. I never was like that person. I could just like kind of go and be like, oh fuck, I forgot to eat. You know, I was like that person, and now I know why that's infuriating to hear.
Right.
I get it. I'll never say that again. But it is kind of like it's shocking how much my entire day revolves around food.
Your meals.
Yeah. And like when I'm gonna get it, and the bathroom.
What's the favorite? What's the favorite meal now? What's a go-to?
It's so boring. It's like I've been eating a ton of like Indian food because it feels really like crafty.
Yeah.
You can like mix it all up together.
Yeah.
It feels kind of artistic.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Little piece of naan, little dip.
Yeah.
Little samosa.
Yeah.
Maybe open
little
that
sag
up.
paneer. You just kind of you mix it all up and then you sort of fold it over and you're like, oh, this is a sandwich or it's a pizza.
That sounds good.
It's kind of a soup.
Maybe we should get Indian. We're going to do another episode where we get high after this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should order Indian food.
Do it.
I'm sure I won't spill it all over this shit.
No, you don't get to eat it while the episode's happening, motherfucker. Yeah, how
Get
dare
garlic
you?
Naan.
Yeah.
Garlic naan is the shit.
Love a nice piece of naan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to like.
So your baby's being kind of nourished on Indian food.
For today, like tomorrow it'll be a totally different thing. Tomorrow it'll be Mexican food. The next day it'll be a different thing. It's really, last night I ordered like from a Swedish restaurant. I ordered Swedish meatballs and like mashed potatoes.
Do you mean IKEA?
It was I ordered the IKEA.
You made Andy go to Red Hook to get you fucking Swedish meatballs from IKEA.
I'm not even kidding you. There is a frozen Swedish meatballs from IKEA in our fridge right this second. I didn't know that they fucking sold them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Andy bought it for himself, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Because I guess that men can have their own cravings.
Sure.
And shit.
I have them all the time.
Yeah.
Remember, we said being a fat piece of shit is like being a pregnant woman.
Right, but I'm saying when they get a woman pregnant, they like have
something
sympathy
biological
shit that happens. Like they gain weight.
Imagine what happened if either of us got a woman pregnant, Eldis, how fat we'd fucking get and how much bullshit we'd eat. Our pregnant wives would have to be like, all right, chill out. Like we would get.
I'm like, I'm right here behind you, honey.
Right. I mean, we used to live together, we were roommates here, and there was one of the most fucked up periods of my life where we were up to, it wasn't long, but for a little bit, we were eating 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's a day. There was like a 2-month period where like you couldn't find a spoon in this apartment. Like they were, God forbid you wanted to eat soup because me and Eldis were fucking, they were Tonight Dough, Chubby Hubby, they were just completely caked. So I can't even imagine if you put me back in that mindset with like, oh, but I'm supporting my woman.
Right, I'm here for her. I'm doing this for her so she doesn't have to eat alone. That's truly what happens. I can see it. It's bad. And also your estrogen goes up.
Oh, really?
So like the estrogen levels in a guy goes up when their partners get pregnant. Yeah.
Well, this does have a childbearing physique. He's got childbearing hips.
He
could literally, he clocked those from a mile away.
Yeah.
He does have like he looks like a very large F to M, basically.
Yeah.
Like he really does.
He seems like he could squat and push. Easy.
Damn though, so you quit vaping, like, were you already not vaping? Like,
no, I was
trying
vaping
to get pregnant
all
process?
the time. So like Andy and I did IVF because we were like not sure if we wanted a kid yet, but I did want one eventually, and I was like, and TikTok, and
of course.
So I was like, all right, let's do this. We'll do IVF. We did it. It was like fucking $20,000, and then I got pregnant like during a month when I had COVID.
Oh no!
Just fucking vaping every other day. And I was like, what
fighter.
the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
I was so pissed. And now I'm like, we've probably got like half a dumbass that we're working with here. But it's fine. I'm like, I'm psyched.
Yeah, of course.
A dumb kid is a funny kid.
Fun kid.
So I'm like, that's good.
I was IVF.
Yeah?
Yeah, me and my brothers.
Know that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Test tube babies.
So so you were the A team.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
This I say it in my act, but this is the best science could do right here. They made me in a fucking lab, baby.
I'm gonna push. I'm gonna literally point to you when my daughter's acting up and be like, "I got the A team waiting in the wings."
We really were. I think the first batch like 88, and I was 89.
For real?
So I was like one of the first,
Holy shit.
at the hospital that we were at, in like DC somewhere. Actually, probably near, because you grew up in like Virginia, right, or DC. It was like somewhere there because my parents had to drive down to like I think it was like Northern
Nova?
Virginia. Yeah. I think
that's where I'm from.
Yeah. So it was the guy's name was Dr. Garcia. And there's all these like pictures of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like all these families love that guy. That's got to be one of the best doctors to be.
Yeah.
Because it's just happiness.
I know.
Because you've made people's like, my parents were trying to get pregnant for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually very lucky because my parents were trying to get pregnant like in 1980. Like I would have been some weird.
Right.
Fucking, I'd be 44 right now. Tough. tough. I wouldn't understand the internet. My career would be so bad. I would be like,
you'd be saying crazy.
Oh,
shit.
I would be a cancel culture guy.
I would be
like,
you'd be like railing against woke.
Yeah, I would talk about
fucking God.
Never been on Rogan, but tweeting at him all the time, begging to be on
constantly.
It, pretending I like MMA so he would be my friend.
Yeah, sharing clips with Rogan. Yeah. Look at this woke piece of shit.
Yeah.
I swear to God, anytime I hear I'm like, how do they still say that and take themselves seriously?
Saying shit is woke has gotten. It's come on, guys. It's gotta end. It's gotta stop.
Somebody asked me on my show this weekend. They were like, "What's your hottest take?" I wanted to fucking punt the mic across the room. I wanted to just be like, "Fuck this."
I have no takes. I'm a clown.
I don't care.
I come on the stage. We have a good time.
Yeah.
I talk about how my dick doesn't work. I make fun of you. We're here to have a good time. I don't have opinion. I mean, I have some my opinions might sneak in because it's just like
because that's what happens.
If you're authentic and you get to know, you get to like see who the person actually is. But I don't want to be. I've said this many times. I don't want to be a point maker.
No,
I'm not that's not what my kind of comedy is. Not point making comedy.
No,
it's having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, if any point that I am making is not real.
It's
not really anything. I'm
course.
just fucking, like picking a side that I've just. I don't know. All of it seems so. To me, comedy kind of got, and maybe this is just also being pregnant, but there's part of me that like hears it and I'm just like, I fucking hate the sound of it.
It makes you like actually physically ill.
It makes me physically ill to walk into a comedy club and like hear people like cackling.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's so insane.
Maybe that's nature's way of telling you women shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Now that you're pregnant, it's like you should be in the home.
I feel like getting pregnant is nature's way of telling me that women shouldn't work. Just getting pregnant. I was literally first trimester going to work every day and being like,
were you writing
this is the least feminist I've ever been, but I think this should be illegal. I think I should just be. There's no reason for me to be here. Yeah,
be hanging out at home in a muumuu.
Yeah,
eating ice cream and pickles
with
or whatever.
Sandals and socks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just letting myself go to hell.
So you were writing on SNL, and were you also touring, or what were you doing when you were?
Yeah, so I was touring on the weekends. So I set up this whole I didn't think this was gonna stick around. I was like, this is gonna be like a bad 3 weeks at work. I really didn't. I thought
once you had a couple miscarriages, you're like, we got another one in the mix.
We'll see. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. You see the test and you're like, you don't even. It's like you fake excitement.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're just like,
been through it.
Yeah, so I was just like, whatever. It'll be a bad couple of weeks. Yeah. I'll book a tour. I booked this fucking whole tour, and now I'm like, what the fuck? It's so.
Are you still on the road right now?
Yes.
Insane.
I have 6 more cities to go.
Insane.
I mean, one of them is going to be. Tempe is going to be rough.
Brutal. It's going to be 110 degrees.
That is going to be very tough. I'm like, I have not told my doctor that I'm going there.
You're going to bake your unborn child's brain.
Boil the baby. I know.
Already vaping, already give him COVID brain. Let's fucking throw a little Arizona heat in there. Right when it's about to pop out.
And a refusal to drink water.
Yeah.
Just a great combo.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I've been traveling the whole pregnancy. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you kind of there's like a period of time where you're like, okay, this is fine. I can deal with this. And then it just starts to get, your belly actually starts to like get bigger.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't like bend. And that's like, I dropped one mic. There were 2 mics on the stage. I dropped one and I was like, no, I'm not getting it.
I'm getting the other mic.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But
sure. That's hilarious to just still be working. You should cancel some of those.
It's scary that you're telling me that.
Yeah. You know me, light touring schedule. I haven't ruined my health touring.
Right. But here's the thing. You're in hell anyway.
Yeah.
Like, touring is hell regardless.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, I just get fatter. You might give your child developmental disabilities. those are the 2 differences.
Honey, she's got those. That's That's a guarantee.
Special kid would be kind of fun, honestly.
She's me and Andy's kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 38, he's 40.
You're so right.
It's gonna be rough.
Tough.
Yeah.
You got Andy's like broken tail sperm.
Let's put it this way: I'm not fighting with the fucking psychiatrist about the baby drugs. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, put her on whatever. Whatever's gonna make her life easier.
It's a girl?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I didn't think I was like gonna be. I heard something, right?
Cheers.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like,
you're not hallucinating. Yeah.
I was so excited, and I thought I wanted a boy because I just thought, a boy would be like, I don't want to say it because, but I was like, you can kind of ignore them.
It's true.
You can kind of, they sort of just run around and wreck all your property and ruin everything.
A boy, it's like, up until you create a mass shooter, you're fine.
Right.
But you got a lot of leeway there. Whereas a woman could be a lot of different forms of terrorist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you could have a minor emotional terrorist.
Exactly.
All the way up to like a murderer. Right. Like a sociopath.
And that's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
That's what I want to teach her to hunt and kill for sport.
Yeah.
Okay? I want a tiny little murderer.
You guys do have interesting genes because double alcoholic, if I'm correct. 2 alcoholics.
Yep.
And
with blue eyes.
With blue eyes. Yeah. 2
so
alcoholics.
You know she's charming.
2 alcoholics, both mentally ill.
Yeah.
Andy just kind of, he was telling us, remember he had like a crazy ass grandma who had that weird shit. You've got Illuminati genes.
He's got a crazy grandma?
Yeah, remember he had like a grandma who talked about how hot her son was, or like great grandma who like talked about how hot his grandfather was or something like that.
I'm for real just learning this.
His family's fucked up. Your family was literally in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? You got
no problem there.
Yeah, that gives you some coverage.
Yeah, my family's perfect.
Yeah.
My family nailed it. Yeah. His family's a wreck.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping she's got more of my genes.
Well, it's like to be fair, you kind of have the offshoot. When, every Illuminati family has like the offshoot of like the ones that didn't really do much.
The fucked up
ones that they kind of, and that's, if I'm not mistaken, that is sort of your family, right? Your direct family.
You're saying that's me. I'm
not
the fucked
you.
Up.
Your father and mother, maybe.
No. My dad is. Yeah, my dad's.
Your dad.
He's working for his dad. They're tight.
Gotcha.
So it's me.
So it's you. It's you, and bringing Andy in the mix didn't help at all.
Didn't help.
That's not someone the Secretary of Defense is going to respect.
Didn't help. It's so funny because I was listening to Andy talk to my dad today on the phone, and I was like, "Don't say I'm in the car." And I just wanted to hear the two of them communicate.
Generally what it's like.
And
I'd love to see that myself.
It was so funny because Andy was like, "Hey, Jamie," you can hear his voice gets like deeper when he talks to my dad. And he's like trying to tell my dad that we're like dropping off. We have like movers that are dropping off like shit at his house.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just wanted to like give you the heads up. I probably should have called you about it before. And then and there was just like silence, and my dad goes, "Okay," and he goes,
"Oh man,"
and then Andy goes, "Is that okay?" And I was like, slapped him. I was like,
don't show weakness.
Don't show weakness. I was like, don't say it. Just wait. Wait.
Yeah, he waited. Yeah.
I was like, you cannot talk because my dad will literally wait for you to incriminate yourself. He's like that. He'll just be silent.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I remember I must have been like, I was probably fucking 10 when he taught me this, but he was like, if you want to know if somebody's guilty, and why the fuck would I need to know that? I'm 10 years old. He's like, if you want to know if somebody's guilty, you just let them talk. He's like, just sit back and let them talk. You'll find out if they're guilty. I was like, what the fuck are you trying to teach me?
That's
like I'm in theater camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like who he is.
Yeah.
He's just like that guy.
Poor Andy. Poor Andy trying to sit through that silence.
I don't know anybody else who watches Succession and is like, that's my family.
Yeah.
That's just how we are. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's fucking hysterical. So was that the first like weird life lesson you got? weird Illuminati life lesson, or?
Yeah, it was that. And I remember asking my dad at one point, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to have kids or if I wanted to be a mom. And I remember asking my dad, I was like, when did you know that you're ready to have kids? And he was like, he just sort of stared forward and was like, you'll never be ready. He was like driving, and that was all he ever said. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the kind of guy in general who like is good at being a dad or a family man. But then it seems like even specifically, just from like your specials and just knowing you, and also just like your material, it's like your dad felt like extra not in the mix. Yeah. Like it felt like he was really not hanging out.
Yeah, he was not.
Really wanted a son, never got that. Got all girls.
Really badly wanted a son. Yeah. For sure wanted a son. Was fucking bummed, but you know, and just was overpowered. You know, for the first time maybe in his life.
Right.
I think he honestly,
which is poetic.
Yeah, I don't think he ever. I remember him like driving us to church. There was like a period of time before like the twins came along, and like when they had a manageable amount of kids, that they were taking us to church every Sunday. But it was like my dad he would like drink on the way. Like he was like drinking, he's just drinking beers on the way. And I was like, you so badly wanted like a back seat full of boys.
Yeah, just roughhousing.
Yeah.
Talking about Little League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just like, he grew up with like 3 brothers and him, and he just he was not prepared. But he got like a bunch of little girls that were like him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'm like, we're more like him than we are like our mom.
Which is he probably even less could understand that.
That was even more frustrating.
Because it's like, if I got girls, at least they're going to be like, I can marry them off to other political elite and strengthen my power in the Bush administration. but I got ones that weren't interested.
I got like opinionated I basically got women that are men. I just can't do anything with. You know what I mean? Like,
totally nothing more useless than an opinionated woman from your father's perspective.
So pissed. Yeah. He was so pissed. I remember at one point him looking at me and being like, why can't you just be, he was like, I remember him just having no words to describe like how disappointed he was. He was just like, I just need you to can you just be reasonable? He was like,
damn, landed on reasonable.
Yeah, just landed on reasonable, but I think what he was saying is like, be less like yourself.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which honestly means less like him. Right. I mean, he and I are the same person.
A lot of psychological shit going on there.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the reason that anything funny about me is from him.
Yeah. And so, were you the oldest?
Yeah.
You're the oldest, okay. And then
how many brothers? How many do you have?
I have 2 brothers.
You have 2 brothers.
2 younger brothers. They're fraternal twins, but IVF. So
you're the oldest. Too.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I'm the oldest. I get it for sure. No, I mean, not obviously. We don't have the same stakes, because it's like, it's got to be weird. Your dad's in a very strange position, just like. You know what I mean? Like, because he clearly went down the path, and we should say, for anybody who doesn't know, your grandfather was James Baker, literally the Secretary of Defense under Reagan and Bush.
Secretary of State under
and then,
Bush, and then Chief of Staff under...
He was Defense at one point, though, right?
Treasury.
No? Treasury, damn.
Yeah.
I got it all wrong, sorry.
I think that's right.
You would know better than me. I thought he was at one... I thought he did a... Anyway... Real, let's just say, architect of some real not chill stuff. But it's got to be straight. Truly, succession is right. And it's got to be weird to be that guy's son and then go down that path. But then, see daughters that just are not fucking with that at all.
Yeah.
And it must be so frustrating when he bought in and was like, well, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And he probably wasn't happy, let's be honest, on to do that. He didn't want to be that.
I think, well, here's the thing. He wanted to be, this is like an interesting piece that I never learned from my dad, but I learned from like a different relative. He wanted to be like an environmental lawyer. He was like he wanted to be a I'm like, that's
oh my
crazy.
God. Literally, they're gutting the EPA. Like, your grandfather is helping gut the EPA. And your dad's like, I want to fucking...
And then my dad had so many kids, he was like, fuck it, all right, I'll just be a corporate lawyer. He immediately skipped. Like, he never went that route. But that's like when he was like... Before he had like a bunch of fucking daughters, that's like what he wanted to be.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, that says so much.
Totally.
It says so much.
So much. And also, like, it's also a little bit of a, I mean, again, I don't know them personally, but it's like, that's also a little bit of a cop-out, I think, psychologically, where it's like, there's probably a lot of reasons he didn't end up being an environmental lawyer. Like, I just see it from my dad's perspective, who he blamed everything on, well, I had the responsibility of my family. Because he was, like, ultimately a coward who wouldn't, like, take risks.
Right.
And that's probably a little bit your dad, too, where it's like, he had a pretty set up life in terms of just, you know, you could just backward, like, literally, like, you could fail into a really nice life, right? Just, you could. Like, if you just, like, if you just kind of, like, work... If you're not a complete dumbass, you know what I mean? Like, you could just I
disagree on that, only because there was no fucking money at all in environmental law.
Oh, no. I mean going with corporate law and just like you could, without really trying, he was basically set up to be like pretty rich and do whatever if he just went down the connections, his family connections and all that stuff. Yeah. And that's easier than what you're saying, being an environmental...
Oh, yes.
Like, there's so many more reasons why he probably didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's easy to blame your kids for being like, well, I would have, you know, once my kids came along, I had no choice. But it's like, you had a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that resentment is there. I don't know if I'm projecting with my dad shit, but it's like, that feels like a classic
I know what you're
dad
saying.
move.
I feel like that's true. We don't have to,
I'm
like, my mom's a painter... My dad's a lawyer. I'm like, yes, of course, he could have done the environmental law thing and like whatever. But I'm also like, now that I'm like having a kid, I'm like, I kind of get it.
It's expensive,
It's fucking expensive. I'm like, okay, I get it now. And part of me goes like, yeah, it's cowardly, but it's also way smarter.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So what you're saying is true.
Pragmatic, and like sacrificing. And I mean, like, look, that was the choice, but I'm saying, like...
Being a coward is a wise choice.
It is most of the time, yeah. I mean, look who you married. You know, that's clearly your position. And
he's not a coward. Only with me.
Yeah. I just love the title of his album, The Coward of Gramercy.
It's
so fucking funny. And that intro he shot, where it's, I don't know, I couldn't find, where it was like... He was like he was about to kill himself or something. Yeah,
and then I come in and I interrupt it.
So fucking funny.
That was so funny and so sad to shoot. I remember watching him like slowly change into a cowboy costume in the corner of our living room. And I was like, probably like, I don't know, doing some bullshit on my phone. And then I look up and I'm like, there's just someone filming my husband changing into a cowboy outfit. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, what did I do?
Absolutely.
What did I choose? You know? Those are the moments I'm like, please, God, let my father never see
of course
what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a pragmatic choice. But I just mean, like, that's, I guess what I'm getting at is, like, it's easy to compound resentment onto kids when it's really ultimately your decision to do whatever the fuck, as a parent, do whatever the fuck you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, the more I grow up and I'm like, I'm a fucking adult, I'm like, oh, my dad was really just like, it's just like, you could have take some responsibility.
Right.
Stop letting all these forces dictate you. Like, things are gonna push you one way, but it's like, don't behave that way. It's just like stand up to something at some point.
Right.
And it's like, you know,
it's like, make the ballsier choice if for anything, because it's valuable for a kid to see their parent doing that. For sure. It really, I am so lucky that I, like, you know, I'm lucky that you can react different ways to seeing that. Yeah. And I'm lucky that I reacted to, like, oh, behave the exact opposite of this. Right. Like, where I'm like, never do. To the point where I think it's fucked me up a little bit, because now I take a lot of risks, but I also have no responsibilities. Like, my dad always talked about how his family, like, held him down or whatever the fuck, and forced him to stay in America and all this other shit. And
And he also talked about how all the shit he could have done, all the like business deals he didn't do, all the, you know, and I've always just been like, fuck it, let's roll the dice.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me, but I also like, it's instilled a little bit of a phobia with relationships, with like getting tied down, getting stuck. I have that, I have that anxiety. So you got to there's like a middle ground between like, you know, learning from your parents and then also.
The benefit of you being that way is that you could have that fear and you'll do it anyway.
Right,
like that's the thing. Like I don't feel like as a, you know, I don't like look at myself in the mirror every day and go like, that's a mom. You know what I mean? I'm like, she's ready. Like I'm not, there's no part of me that feels like ready for this still. And I'm so fucking terrified. And every day I'm like so scared. And I'm just like, but I'm doing it anyway. Cause it's like, that's what we do as comics. Is like, we make those choices that are scary and we just make it work. Or it doesn't. Or it falls flat on its fucking face.
And then who knows how. Let's see how much the lineage can fall further.
See. Yeah. You know, like, she could fucking fuck me up. I could be eating my words in a year. But
no, but I think it's, and I don't think anyone's ever, at least us, like it's so funny how when you just do something so frivolous as entertainment, it's like we're talking about having a kid, which is something most of the world does at like 20. Like we were talking about it as if it's like the craziest thing in the world, even though it's literally on some level the reason humans exist is to just create more of us. But I totally get it. I mean, my friend just had a kid and she said the same thing. She's like, I was just like, and for me it's even weird. Like it's weird that you'll have a kid. It's weird that she has a kid. It's like, that's insane. Like we have kids, but it's like we're fucking in our 30s and 40s and shit, and it's like it's beyond the time to do it.
Right, like we're supposed to do this.
Like we're late. You know, like I don't even have the prospect of a serious relationship, let alone a kid. Like I guess I could. One time my mom was busting my balls about not having kids so much that I was like, look, I can get you a kid. but do you want to raise it?
Look, I can head out there
like we can
have you a kid in 9 months.
We can make that happen, but I'm not going to fucking raise it. Do you want to raise it? Do you want to be like grandma raising her? Because she was like so annoying about it.
I'm one lonely road gig away.
Like we've had some close calls. You sort of were a grandmother for a couple weeks, a couple times. You were, right? Like,
I can't tell you how many times you were almost a grandma.
I can't tell you how many plan Bs away from a grandmotherhood you've been in your life.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's just like, but I definitely feel that, I mean, having the responsibility of a kid, really, I can't even imagine. Because it's all secondhand for me, and it's like.
You just had the most fucked up thought of you just sending your mom a bunch of fucking Plan B rappers.
He's all so the ones that could have been.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she would have been fine. If I'd shown her who they could have been with, she'd be real happy that it's not, you know, some real random ladies. Some real women I don't even remember their names.
Bunch of close calls.
A lot of kind of got caught up in the moment. And
in
really,
some very dim lighting.
Some very fucked up situations. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's still, I mean, it is really exciting too to be having a kid.
It's kind of like, I look at it and I go like, I know what you're saying. Like when my friends were having kids, like my closer friends, I was just like, wait, what? Like, it sort of felt like they were dying.
Yes, fully.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of people move.
Like, nobody talks about that, but it feels like you're like,
something
changes.
You're
having a kid? Okay, well, bye.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of how it feels. And even now that I'm, like, going through it, it feels like I'm preparing to die. I'm like preparing my apartment. I'm throwing things away. I'm like,
a new phase of life really is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm gonna die a little bit. I'm just gonna die for a second.
And here's the thing, though, it's like that's okay because it's like, how much longer did you want to be exactly that person? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm getting tired of who I am now.
Yes.
I'm like, this can't keep going on.
That's how I felt. Dude, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fucking so sick of doing whatever I want all the time.
Yeah, right. Too much ice cream.
This is
like
insane.
It's too much dessert.
Yeah.
I need some responsibilities.
My life's too good.
Yeah.
Like it's just
too easy and
too
dumb.
Good. And honestly, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm not prepared for any of the shit that I know is hard. You know, I am prepared for that. Like I've been through periods of time where I haven't slept for fucking weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I've done shit that I thought was impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten through it. You know, I've been stuck in the house for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, COVID prepped me for that too.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm really prepared for like the way that parents like describe how they feel about their kids. Like that part scares the shit out of me.
Interesting, having to really feel that deep.
Yeah.
Having like those deep emotions.
I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for that at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Something just chipping away at that little ice box.
Yeah.
That little ice box heart.
Oh no. This is gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that because I'm just like ready to be like a different kind of version of myself, you know?
Yeah, at a certain point, it's gotta, I don't know. I feel like the more people around you to it, you get used to the idea and it doesn't seem so crazy and it's just like, yeah, I'm tired of doing this exact thing.
Yeah.
And it's also just kind of like, fuck it, what else are you gonna do?
Right.
You know? Like,
I had so many, I mean, literally I'm talking like I'm already dying, but I had so many good years of just like, going out like late at night, just staying out until 6 a.m. with my friends and being like, this is like the greatest life ever.
This is so fun.
I love my fucking life. I love my friends. This is so fun.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, it was like coming home from those and being like, it was another great night, but like, how many of these can I do?
Yeah, who cares at a certain point?
Who cares?
Yeah. I get that.
And I know it's like depressed.
No, I get that. I get that too because I feel kind of the similar way on certain parts of like, I mean, there were like the last couple tours have been so sick for me where it's like I have more than achieved my dreams.
Right.
Like I thought I wanted to be a road comic working like B rooms. That's what I thought was possible. It was like I started Magooby's Joke House and I wanted to work every Magooby's equivalent across America. Yeah. And shit has gone so much better. Like literally my best friend, like we tour manages, like that we're selling out great shows. I'm getting to fuck a bunch of girls. Yeah. And it's all, you know, we eat at any cool restaurant we want. We do everything that like is a vacation.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but then you're like, all right, well, I got
what else?
Who gives a fuck? And it's like there has to be like a deeper, like very basic human shit, which just comes down to finding people you love, having kids, like starting a life, all this kind of shit where it's like, yeah, there's a reason the people that like just stay just partying and having an awesome time. It's like, when you get into your like 40s and 50s and shit like that. Dude, it makes me sad. It's legitimately sad.
Yeah, it makes me really sad. And listen, I don't want to, I think that it's hard enough to be a woman with a kid, but if you're a woman without one, you just get all kinds of shit put on you where it's like, oh, she can't possibly be happy. Like,
oh, damn.
All that kind of shit.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
So I don't want to say that that's not possible because I think that it is. And I think that for women that choose not to have kids, I think that's like an important choice. Yeah. But I also go like for me, I'm like, it's just not for me. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want the burden of that.
Yeah,
I don't want the burden of like having to enjoy my life that much.
That's so true. Because if you're just having an okay time and you're like, I could have had a kid. Right. If you're not just crushing it every fucking weekend, what was the point?
Or even if I am and I'm still just my miserable self. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, God, now I got to be a woman who like loves her life all the time because I don't have a kid. Oh, it's exhausting. You know? Thanks.
I still feel like I could go either way. Like I could, because I also feel like I'm in the uncle zone big time.
Oh, for sure.
I'd be a great, you know, I know one of my brothers is gonna have kids. Like we've been saying, one of my friends, my best friends, like she had a kid. That little motherfucker. I'm so pissed off. She keeps visiting New York when I'm not here. They crashed here. That baby was like on this couch. And I just didn't get to hang out with them. But it's like, I want to be, I think I could get that fulfillment. Like I like kids, but I could go either way. I guess I'm just going to put it on whoever I end up with. It's like your choice, and you better choose right.
It is crazy. I know.
Because our whole lives depend on it.
It is crazy though when you get like a niece or a nephew.
Yeah.
And you like, dude, I'm positive that my niece coming to visit me, like, I was like, I got pregnant like right after.
Oh wow.
Like right after that. Yeah. Like I dropped her off with her mom and was like, peace, and went home and just fucking blew everything up. Yeah. I was like, let's do it. You know?
So wait, did you get, is the baby IVF or are we talking?
It's not IVF.
Natural?
It's natural.
Nice.
But it's natural like after doing IVF.
Oh, so after all the hormones
like,
and
so
shit like that. Yeah, yeah.
That I had all that fucking, I'm like, God damn it. We have like the perfect babies. And now we just did this. But it's fine. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah. You know, did your parents know that you were a boy? Did they like know what the genders of all the?
They did. Well, the way they did it. I don't know if it's still the same way now, but back then they would implant like fucking 10 embryos.
I know.
12 embryos. It was fucking insane.
I know. It's like crazy.
Yeah, like I was one of 9. I was the only one that made it. And then my brothers...
Hunger Games.
Yeah, I fucked those kids up.
Yeah.
My brothers, it was even more fucked up. They were originally like, I think, 8.
Yeah.
And for a long time, they were supposed to be triplets. And like pretty late in the game, I don't know what they did to that motherfucker. My brothers just like
fucking
killed. Yeah, they just like ate him for nutrients.
That's like a crazy thing that happens. They literally call it like disappearing twin syndrome or something. And I'm like, you can't call it that.
Yeah.
You can't call it that and act like that's scientific.
Totally.
Like don't tag syndrome on the end of it and be like, disappearing twin.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mystery.
Yeah.
But they fucking, they just fucking killed that guy. Maybe he was annoying. I don't know what the fuck was going on in the womb.
Parts,
But they split him up for parts and they ate his ass in the womb. I'm sure they literally got his nutrients. Like that's how that shit works.
Yeah.
So good. My
Extra
brothers.
stem cells.
Yeah. They're hardy boys.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck that guy. He's in hell right now.
All boys.
Because he never made it. Yeah, all boys.
God damn.
All boys. And if my parents they said if they had the twins first, they wouldn't have like had another kid.
Yeah.
So they were planning on having 2 kids. And then my brothers just popped out. Yeah. That's
what happens.
For sure.
But how do you identify as the oldest, even though like I know, because there's the trope of like, oh, the oldest sibling. Yeah. Do you feel like you fit into that?
100%. Yeah. Like even though, and it's kind of weird too, because my brothers are twins, but we also kind of really fall into like, oldest middle child baby. Like my brother, who was technically 7 minutes younger, fully feels like the baby of the family. Yeah. Like, you know, and then my brother, who was a little older than him, just fully has like middle child shit big time, you know? But I definitely am like it sounds like you're the same way, where it's like definitely the oldest kind of was like a quasi parent in certain ways, or like I at least helped my parents out a lot. Like I was.
Well, when there's twins, you have to. It's like all hands on deck. Everybody's just like, "Fuck," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
What are the age differences between you guys?
God, it's like, well, the biggest age difference is 10 years.
Okay.
So it's 2 years, 6 years, 10 years.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh yes, that's different. I mean, we were only 2 years apart, so I didn't like. For me, it was more just like, you know, oldest child being the one that has like all the hopes pinned on them. You know what I mean? Like I had all the responsibilities, and then because my parents straight up didn't speak English that well, I would like proofread documents and like do that kind of shit since like 6th grade. Like help my mom with a bunch of shit. So in that way, for sure, you know, I got the oldest child.
Do you feel like though with the oldest child, like, I don't know, for me, I was like, oh, they like had me, and then they were like, they just kind of go like, oh, we got to focus on like raising these other kids. So like you kind of got to do it yourself. Yeah. And I feel like that benefits you as an oldest child, because you're like, I'm going to learn to be an adult faster than all you motherfuckers.
I think you're definitely bossier if you're the oldest child.
Yeah.
Like without question, I'm like, I can't help it. Like I try and stop that part of myself from just being like. It's so hard. It's really hard, but I also think it has helped me in certain ways where I'm just like, sometimes shit just has to someone has to decide what has to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I do think there's something to that. Because like, I mean, for me, it was a big drop off. because I was like the king. Like my parents had tried to have kids for a decade.
Yeah.
And then here I come.
Yeah.
And I was also like one of those kids that could talk early. I was like, 10 months old.
Yeah.
Just talking sentences and shit.
Yeah. And
they
like,
I was,
yes!
like I was a big hit at parties. Just this little.
You still look like a baby that was carried around on like one of those golden little like
dude.
beds.
100%. That was the whole vibe of the first 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
And then here come not one but two dickheads.
Yeah.
That completely fucked my shit up.
Right.
We weren't friends when we were like babies because I was pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember my mom being like, you can be, doing that parent shit where it's like, you have a very important job. You can be my helper.
Right.
And then I was 2 years old and
fuck you,
after
bitch.
literally after like 3 days, I was like, hey mom, I quit. I literally was like, I quit being the helper.
Did you say that?
I said that. I was like, I quit being the helper.
Right.
And she was just like, because I was like bring her diapers and shit. I was like, this shit fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I want to go watch fucking Sesame Street and chill out.
I don't want to fucking help you.
Yeah.
You made this.
You brought these assholes into our lives.
Right. Yeah. I remember feeling like that. Like I remember when my mom got pregnant with the twins and my other sister literally looking at her and being like, how are we going to afford it? Like she was 8 asking, how are we going to afford it? Like, what are you guys doing? You're just being reckless at this point, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like kind of the vibe.
Yeah, is Dad gonna have to represent another dictator in court to make to pay for our fucking country club fees now?
I know. How are we gonna keep our membership? I'm not splitting tennis lessons. I won't do it. I'm putting my fucking tiny foot down.
Oh fuck! Yeah. Did you ever date any like real like those like Nova rich kids? Was that ever?
I didn't really. I never like. I mean, I had like a serious boyfriend in high school, but they were like, he wasn't like a Nova rich kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. I really, because Nova's weird. Like, there's like Great Falls is like kind of a area in Nova, or was, where you had like just middle class, like working class families, and like I tended to date like that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Just guys that like had a good weed hookup.
Yeah,
It was like.
But were you going to private schools or public schools?
I went to public school.
You went to public school. Okay, so you had access.
The only one that went to public school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Gotcha. They're like, we'll see how this goes.
They're like, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Throw her in public school.
So okay, cool.
Yeah.
So because I just imagine like some weird like DC area private school that like other people don't know, because they do have those little pockets where it would be like you just turn down a street and you'd be like, it's nothing but mansions in this little part of like Virginia or DC.
Yeah.
And it's like not that far from others, like little secret. There's so much money in that like corridor, that like
secret money alcoves.
Yeah, there's so many of them, and like there's like that, there's parts in Maryland they're like that, the Bethesda, all that kind of shit, and then in Northern Virginia,
I feel like the economic development of DC, the uneven economic development, how it would change from block to block, just kind of spread through Maryland and Virginia.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Where you would just be, it would be one neighborhood and the next was just completely different.
For sure.
But yeah,
they had you in public school smoking weed.
Yeah.
Being a little troublemaker.
All my sisters were in boarding school and private school. They went to like the Hill School where my grandfather went and where my father went, and they just totally skipped that for me. They didn't even fucking apply. They were just like, she's not getting in there. She's not getting in. They were like, there's not a chance. She can't. Not a chance. She doesn't have a single bone in her body that belongs there.
That's so
my parents just knew it immediately.
That's crazy. They just, firstborn, they don't even bother.
They were just like, it's not going to happen.
We'll take a mulligan.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we fucked that one up.
That was a first draft. She's going to go to public school. She'll figure it out. And the rest of you guys are going to be set up for success.
That's so funny, because it's like, when you said public school, I was like, oh, okay, good for Rosebud's parents. They're like, you know what, we're going to raise our kids normal. But it was actually like, just kind of
just me.
Just kind of like shitting on you. Like, there's no way to read that and not be like, my parents don't care about me as much. Because when you're a kid, you don't get this is actually better for you, that you're actually becoming a regular person.
Right.
In a way that your siblings don't. Like, they actually did you a huge favor.
Yeah.
But you didn't know that when you're a kid.
No.
When you're a kid, it probably felt felt like, what the fuck? They get to go to these expensive schools and I'm going to fucking public school?
To be honest with you, I was too stupid to notice. I really didn't even, it just went like, woo. Like, I couldn't even, I remember thinking like, oh, it kind of sucks they have to like go to like Pennsylvania to go to school. That sucks to me. But I also like, I kind of worked my whole public school education in this weird way where like I did 4 classes at school and then I went to like a gifted and talented program in a different public school for like arts and fucking theater.
Yeah, they had that kind of weird
like
shit in DC.
Yeah. So I did that and I was like, to me, that was like, I'm basically the greatest child that they've had. I didn't know that that's not, that my sisters were killing it in a legacy school. Like literally living my father or my grandfather's legacy for them. And I was just kind of like fucking dicking around in a public school.
Yeah. Doing monologues in public school. Yeah. Did any of your sisters like stick with that? Did they go into any like business, politics, any of that shit?
No, my sister. That's the thing. It's like it didn't even pay off. My sister, she's a nurse. Okay. And then my other sister is she does PR for like an art gallery. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. So not really closest. Like, PR is the closest.
PR is the closest.
If she wanted to, she probably could transition into some more of that shit.
Yeah,
but
she works.
Doesn't want
she's
to.
Got it in her. Like I could see her kind of like doing some cutthroat. She's like a fashionable lesbian in Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
Who works at an art gallery.
That's like, one of the scariest people I've ever heard described.
Yes. Yeah.
Fashionable lesbian. Yeah. Manhattan lesbian.
Recent lesbian, too.
Oh, wow.
Like
okay.
Recent.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Very
how recent.
Disappointed stray woman.
Yeah. Just how much subpar. It's the Tootsie Roll thing where it's like, how much subpar dick does it take to make you a lesbian? How many licks does it take to get to the center?
I'll be honest, she fucked 2 comics when she moved here, and now she's gay. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Huge mistake. Tell me off mic who they were later.
Oh, I will. Yeah. Oh, you bet.
That's fucking hilarious. Eldis, we never talked about your dynamics. I mean, you were pretty squarely the baby. Yeah. Marilyn was like another parent.
Marilyn was doing everything. Marilyn was always like, because my parents didn't know English that well.
Oh yeah, my parents kind of didn't. Eldis's parents, we grew up together by the way.
Yeah.
Eldis's parents, didn't. His mom.
Are you also Greek?
He's Albanian.
Albanian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How dare you, Rosebud?
I don't know.
Clearly Albanian. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my sister she's like 5 years older than me, so she was always getting sent into stores to ask for directions, lost, making phone calls, doing that administrative shit, stuff like that. So,
do you ever feel like your parents maybe like faked it a little bit? Just like they were like, "Oh, we can't."
That's a great question, because I'm like, well, no, because if you can, you can. I mean, if you don't know how to like call someone on the phone,
your dad definitely was not faking. That motherfucker definitely couldn't. Yeah. Your mom, I feel like, is so resourceful. She could have figured it out, but
my mom was more capable of it, but didn't realize it. Well, she did. She also just didn't realize it because of like misogyny, like indoctrination from communist Albania. She's like, I could never call the electric company and sort this bill out. How could I ever?
I would never
even if I knew
toes.
English better.
Yeah. So fucking funny.
But that's what I'm going to use as my excuse. I could never possibly ever.
But no, I guess that's so true because your sister was so very, very capable, and you really were the fat little dumbass of the family. Just reading poetry and your thighs chafing together in your little sweatpants.
Did you do poetry?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a proud lifelong reader.
Eldis
appreciator of literature.
Yeah, okay. You fucking nerd.
A proud lifelong reader. That's something I've never heard anyone describe.
Well,
he
grew up. We went to elementary school together, and then he went to his family moved out of a really shitty neighborhood, which now has become completely gentrified. If they had stuck around, would have been a great decision. Right. And they went to this fucking horrible suburb, and Eldis was just at an arts school, just
which art school?
Carver Center.
It was a high school. It was high school. Yeah.
Okay.
In Maryland.
All right.
Carver Center in like Towson.
Okay.
And he was just like, he lost all the, like, we stayed in Baltimore, and it's not like we were big tough guys or anything, but boy, did Eldis lose any edge he possibly could have had. They had his ass sheltered.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I always was sheltered. I think it's like just something in me, and
it's true.
Something that would have like still incubated even if we were in
absolutely.
Maybe a little less if I hung out more with you guys.
A little less. You would have gotten roasted so much more. Yeah, I met your high school friends, dude, and it was like, if I was comfortable around those people, like if those kids went to my high school and I went to you had to test in. This wasn't just like a regular Baltimore high school. At my high school, any of those kids gets eaten alive.
Yeah,
right.
Like they get so like.
Wait, were they gifted and talented kids, or were they like dumbasses?
Like art kids.
Oh, they were art kids.
It was like theater, art.
You can't send an art kid to Baltimore. Period.
No. I've talked about this on other episodes, but it was like there was a thing that switched. Like when I was just in 7th grade, where I was like, because I was a theater, I love theater, I love drama, and then like being in Baltimore, I was like, at 7th grade, I was like, oh, this is gay, and I'm gonna play sports now because I don't want to be ridiculed. It just
happened to me in 8th grade when I was like, oh, okay. Like I can still do theater, but I can't do musicals. I can't do this around these people. That's a different level of like nerd.
Whereas when you go to an art school, it's like that shame doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of supports pretty much every artistic endeavor.
Right, yeah.
And so you get to really be a fucking nerd with, that doesn't have to worry about like getting mocked or ridiculed or anything like that.
Yeah. That's one thing that shook me when I moved to SNL is I was like, oh, everybody's really supportive.
Yeah.
Everybody here. I was like, that's like a different
they could use a little roasting on that show. They could use just a little.
This is very supportive.
Yeah.
We're all going to be very.
Too many Harvard.
But also, it was like everybody was new, and now it's starting to feel a little bit more.
Let's get it cutthroat.
Now it's getting a little bit more.
Let's get people having panic attacks in the bathrooms.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like before, it was just like you walk into an office and someone would be silently crying at their desk. And I'm like, okay. I'll come back.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I'll never forget like finding out I was pregnant right after. Like I knew I was pregnant, but I hadn't tested or anything. So I was like walking past. Travis Kelce had like done his thing.
Oh, hell
like he'd done the reading.
Yeah.
And he's so bad at reading.
Yeah.
And it was like just crazy CTE. And I was just like,
he's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, Eldis.
Yeah. He's like,
thank you.
Yeah, just so you know. I'm like,
Mr. Lifelong Reader.
I'm like, what's he written?
He was sitting there like doing his, like we do like the table read, and he did half of it and he fucked it up, and he was like in his dressing room, and I walked past the dressing room and I hear him practicing reading with his jock friend.
Oh no.
And I started sobbing. I was like, oh, something's wrong. I was like, oh, something's definitely off. I'm crying because a football player is practicing reading.
Because a millionaire Super Bowl champion can't read.
Yeah, I was like...
Can't read his monologue.
It was literally just... And it wasn't even that. It was just like how sweet it was.
Oh, yeah,
that two jocks were practicing reading together.
True.
And I was like...
That is cute.
What is up with me? What is going on?
Yeah, no pregnancy test needed.
Right.
I know
like,
something.
No
my hormones are off.
Something is off.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, what a sweet dummy.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Why don't we look? We could talk all day. So much interesting stuff to get into, but we got to bring this soon to be mother. Former alcoholics, we didn't even get into her perspective to our listeners' problems. So why don't we take some questions, Rosie? How's that sound?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Let's do it.
Stavvy baby. Try to keep this short and sweet. Been with my wife almost 4 years. Her whole family loves me except for her fucking mom. Cunt is Catholic. She's controlling.
Jesus.
She doesn't like that I'm a carpenter, that I smoke weed, drink a fair amount, but I mean, no more than the average person, I would say. And
Heard that
she has
before.
written a letter to my wife stating how I don't have much money saved up, how I drink too much. And my wife is just like, this is how mom is. This is how she's always been. She doesn't really like anybody, but I cannot stand being around this bitch. And she lives in South Carolina now. I'm living in Cincinnati. But she's moving back soon, and I'm fucking dreading it.
Jesus
and I'm
Christ.
getting nervous that she's going to affect my marriage. Because I don't like being around this cunt. And I swallow my pride, and I do things for her, and I do everything I can. Excuse me. Make peace. But every time I see her, she's got some bullshit remarks, something to fucking say. Like, my life is in shambles. And I have money saved. Me and her just bought an awesome house. And then on the flip side, she's always bitching at me to fucking have kids.
Oh my God.
I'm just confused here and don't really know how to handle this cunt. And I just need a little advice from you.
You dropped 3 C's.
You big, beautiful Greek bitch.
I don't know why she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's possible.
He seems so nice.
Yeah. It is possible she's a dumb bitch, but man, you got to work on your messaging, partner. It's like, she sounds horrible, but you can't drop 3.
Really hard to take your side here.
You can't drop 3 C-bombs in a row.
He's definitely like leaning to the side and farting in the middle of her sentences at the dinner table.
Yeah. She's always fucking shitting on me because I shit my pants.
Yeah, this is a tough. I don't know. Do you have any insights about in-law? Do you have any in-law insights, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, in-laws are tough because they're like parents you can't be mean to. It's just like that is what it is.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
and you just can't be mean. So I kind of get why it's like all coming out like while he's writing to you.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you hold it in so hard when she's around. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell who's a bigger cunt. It's really hard to tell.
I guess, okay, yes, it really is. And I think...
I mean, okay, so she's moving back, but is she moving... It's not clear, like, if she's moving back into their house.
Not into their house, but I think just
city.
in the same city.
All right, so, I don't know. How hard is it to avoid your mother-in-law?
I mean, I could, if she's moving back in and she seems like the kind of person who wants to be involved a lot.
There's no kids to be involved with, though.
I guess that's true, but who knows? They might be. They might have like kind of a family that gets together a lot. I don't know. Yeah. It seems like he's worried about it.
Right.
Now look, she's got some fucking horrendous remarks.
Yeah, writing a letter to your wife is a pretty cunty move.
That's crazy. Writing a letter, basically being like, leave him.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, she's always bitching at me to have kids. She just wants grandkids at this point. She doesn't really give a fuck about you. You think it's not confusing. She wants grandkids, and she'll gladly she'll gladly like be in your children's life, but not worry about you at all. She'll gladly root for you to get her daughter pregnant, and then for her daughter to divorce you in the same year. She doesn't give a fuck. And once people get old, they stop worrying. They don't really worry about that shit so much. It's like, I just want my daughter to have a kid that I can help, and whatever.
If it's helpful at all, the more a parent pressures you to leave your spouse, the harder you're gonna stay. I mean, it's like she can write all the letters that she wants to fucking your daughter, to Congress, to who gives a shit.
Yeah.
No one. Your wife's not going anywhere because the more letters she gets from her mom being like, he's bad news, the more turned on she's going to get.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. That's certainly a possibility. I guess my question here is like, look, there's nothing you can do about your mother-in-law. This is more important. Like, I think talking about this with your wife is really the important thing. Like, I feel like...
Not like, don't do it like this, though.
Yeah.
Don't do it like this.
No, absolutely not. But if like, let's say he's right.
Yeah.
And her mom,
I believe he's right.
Is being a bitch, has these like needles him with these remarks, is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a red flag if his wife doesn't support him and take his side a little bit here. You know what I mean? Like, that's, to me, the worry is because he's worried about his marriage being affected.
Here's the thing: if you're going to be a really good husband, you're going to say like you're not going to force anybody to take sides. You're going to make it easier on her. Like because her mom is going to be there just like gnawing at her and being like, you should be the way that I want you to be. And she doesn't need two voices in her head telling her like, it's me or her.
Good point, yeah.
It's me, like, that is the less loving thing to do, I think, across the board.
That's a good point. That's true. And ultimately it is her fucking mom.
And the less you do that, the more your wife is going to take your side naturally. It's like if you're kind of like, yeah, she can go ahead and do whatever she's got to do and say whatever she's got to say about me. Like, we're already married, you know.
Yeah, I guess the way to look at it is treat your mother-in-law like she's a homeless guy that got into your house.
Yeah.
A homeless guy calls you a fat idiot. You're like, okay, sorry, but she's the way you're like, you feel bad for the homeless guy. You're like, this guy's insane. His life is so much worse than mine.
Yeah.
She's a miserable old bitch. And on some level, her life is so much worse than yours. She has no control. She's got to meddle
in your shit.
She's going to try and meddle, but if you just let it roll off your back, you kind of, you're absolutely right, Rosebud, because you're completely correct. And like, my first thing was like, get your wife in the mix. Let's be a team about this. Yeah. Let's look at her mother as a problem together.
Right.
But like, you know, that can hugely backfire.
You're gonna make your life so much easier by just letting it roll off your back and literally paying it no attention at all.
Treat her like an insane person who snuck into your home.
Yeah.
And just be nice and just kind of be like, you know, kill her with kindness. Don't let it get to you the way it's clearly already gotten to you.
Yeah.
And you know, do you have some other issue? Like, do you have problems with criticism? Maybe she can sniff it on you. Because the last thing you want is to just get goaded into an argument where you will look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you blow up at her at fucking Thanksgiving and call her a cunt.
She's literally trying to get this out of you. Like, she's trying to get all of this.
She's winning by you behaving this way.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, so good point. Good point.
It's kind of like if you just like sit back and go like, all right, whatever, lady, just keep yapping till you're dead. Yeah. I'm here and I'm going to impregnate your daughter.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay.
Or even better, you could fuck with her and be like that old Louis C.K. bit about giving a kid, like, how fun it is to give a little kid the finger.
Yeah.
Because no one will ever believe them.
Right,
like, just whisper atrocious shit to her. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to die, Barbara. You're going to die sooner than me.
Just write it in her mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing you do. You could not poison her, but you could put a little, you know, what's the thing that makes you shit?
Little X-Lax?
Little X-Lax, laxative in her stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, really make... You could go like a Home Alone.
Yeah.
Do little pranks and
just
you can kneel her.
90s movie, like comedy movie.
Like, very minor inconveniences and just...
But embarrassing ones.
Yeah, but you can't get caught. That's very high risk.
Yeah.
Because if you get caught, you know, whispering death threats to your mother-in-law,
you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, but maybe every once in a while, if she really pisses you off, treat yourself to one little X-Lax pill in her fucking
To me, I'm
mojito.
like, there's no way this is going to affect your marriage unless you get caught.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good luck, buddy. That sounds horrible and truly an atrocious situation, which I don't wish on anyone.
No, that's awful. It's really awful.
I don't know how I would handle a bad, like, I really would, this would work on me and I would blow up at this woman. I just know I would.
I've been in that position with a different in-law and I've fucking completely blown up and it absolutely blew up in my fucking face. Yeah. And I'm like, just don't, I'm like, trust me, the less it's just easier when you just don't.
You're right. And that's why we have you on the pod. Because I would have given this guy bad advice if you weren't here.
Luckily, I've lived it already.
Fuck that bitch, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just hit us with another one, baby.
Stavvy, baby. Love you. Love the show. I need your help. I called before about the situation. However, things have escalated, and my husband and I really need some advice. So we have a super close friend. We've been homies for a long time. We care deeply for this person.
Oh, I remember
and
this
back
one.
in 2020, this friend started seeing a girl. So they've been together for a while now, and, like, she's just kind of a total bitch. I don't want to go on about her, but just
is this a follow-up or just new?
This is new. I don't think we ever did a call from her.
I called before about the situation. Oh, but you just never played it. Right. She sounds like someone who called in. My bad. I don't remember this one, but we're listening with fresh ears.
And it'd be one thing if he was getting, like, amazing pussy all the time, but he is not.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he's getting laid, and if he is, it's at an inexcusably low frequency.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hell yeah.
So all that said, our friend casually dropped some news on us, and he thinks he's, in quotations, found a ring.
Oh, shit.
So my question is, how do my husband and I respond? Like, we feel like he might be settling. We love this guy. We want to see him happy. So we just don't really understand why he's considering marriage with someone who kind of makes him what we perceive as, like, really miserable. So help us out if you can. I just, I don't want to hurt his feelings, and I want him to be happy, but, like, I just don't know about this. So thank you. Love you. Talk to you.
Oh, man.
This is a tough one.
That sucks.
So I have a couple questions. How do you know he's not getting pussy all the time? Right. This is that's my number one question.
Yeah, where's the nanny cam?
How do you know how much he's nutting? Because a lot of times people are very, like, sometimes it's Occam's razor. And when you see a couple that seems like they don't get along, they fuck awesome.
Like crazy.
They just have an awesome setup. They just have some kind of, something is like, and I'll be like, people that I can't get over, like, even if I didn't like them that much or whatever, it's like the people that really linger are the ones that fuck the best.
Yeah.
I wish it was not the case. I wish I wasn't an animal like that.
But no, but that's just a fact. That's just
how it works.
That's just a natural fact that happens. Like, if they fuck really good, they're not the one, but they still fuck really good.
Yeah. And sometimes someone is, if they fuck so good that maybe if they didn't fuck as good, they wouldn't be the one, but they're okay enough that there's some relationships that people take it that far. And it's like, that's the secret to their relationship, is that they keep fucking.
Yeah.
There are relationships like that.
True.
But that would have been my one guess. But this doesn't feel like
it feels like they really know this, though. I mean,
it feels like they really know it, and I also,
which means I feel like it came from him, like he told them.
Possible, yeah. And I wonder. So you have this close friend, and you guys have known each other for a while, and he started seeing somebody 3 years ago, and you don't like her, basically.
Right.
Now, part of this is, like, sometimes it's not about, like, it's tough to realize it's not about you, and this could be what he wants, and, you have to kind of, like, check what you want versus, like, hey, if this makes my friend happy, fine.
Yeah, I mean, some people they just want to cut themselves.
It doesn't feel that way, right?
And that's just what they're into.
Yeah.
Like,
but let's take them at face value and say they're completely right. This woman's a fucking idiot.
I am.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm saying he might want to cut himself.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Right.
He might want to sign up for a life of punishment because that's what gets him hard. And that's just the way it is. Like,
okay, but now let's say there is no positive to it, and he's just kind of like, he will be miserable, and this woman is kind of, because this happens too, where it's like someone does kind of take advantage of another person and just kind of like,
I don't believe that it's like 100% one-sided though, like that.
Yeah.
Like if you are, and I believe this in all relationships that are like clearly toxic relationships, that having been the person on both sides of it,
right.
I'm like, there's some kind of agreement that you've either made with yourself or with this person where it's like, okay, I'm miserable, but I get to feel like a hero because I'm putting up with this person.
Right.
And I'm such a good person
Right.
because look at all the shit that I deal with.
Yeah.
And then all your friends are like, you're such a good person. Why are you doing this? And you're like, I don't know. I guess I'm a fucking angel. And you just get these pats on the back and you feel like a hero, but you are filled with deep foaming resentment.
Yeah, but exactly.
It's going to eventually just, he's going to kill her. That's what I'm saying. He's going to end up killing her. And he's going to get a Netflix documentary, and you're going to enjoy watching him. And you're going to say, look at him shine.
Yeah, he looks so good.
Look at him go.
He looks so good in those prison tan uniforms. Yes, you're absolutely right. That can happen for people, but I also think, like, they're basically saying, how do we save this person? Do you think it's possible? Do you think they can? Because in my experience, you really can't.
No.
You really can't.
I was going to say, I don't want to bum you out, but absolutely not.
You just kind of have to be there, be a supportive friend. If they want to, if you want to try and steer things a little bit, that's fine. But like sometimes that really, if you really go against someone who a significant other that the person just has made their mind up, then you risk kind of alienating your friend too.
Yeah.
Like if they feel like this is the person they love, and you just come fucking, you can have a moral victory and be correct.
Yeah.
Or you can stay in this person's life who's your best friend.
We got a fucking theme going on here.
Yeah. We really do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know what you can do here. Truly, it's like, if he brings it up, if he asks for your advice, you can be forthright. You don't have to lie.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend like you're happy for him.
But also, you can't, like, I don't know. What do you want to do? Sit him down and be like, have an intervention, but your fiance's a dumb bitch intervention? I don't think that'll work.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
That's going to be a bad situation.
Sorry, pal. That's the way it is. Sometimes your friend ends up with a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have
Sometimes you marry a lady with a dumb bitch mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Tough.
Sometimes it just happens.
Tough stuff.
Sometimes the mom's a cunt, sommes the girlfriend's a cunt.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sometimes they both are.
We all got to live with cunts in our lives.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
So, yeah, we really don't got much for you.
Yeah.
If it pops up, you can be honest, but I would say do not push it. Don't try and sit them down and preemptively break them up. That's a weird move.
Yeah.
You got something else, something a little different, Eldis, or is it all the same shit?
Not talk about the
You
shit
started in
that's
the middle,
going on
dumbass.
and like how
I like
great
this
things
accent.
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger
Great
and
movie.
Danny DeVito, but I've kind of got that situation going right now.
How?
What?
How could
I'm
you
30.
possibly?
I'm an attorney. I'm crushing it. I'm making a ton of money. I love my career. I love my life.
Okay.
I work from home. I work out all the time. I'm in great shape.
Pause this, by the way.
Yeah, just...
So, the movie Twins, for those of you who don't know, I watched it very recently, actually. It's on Netflix, so go check it out. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, there was an experiment on an island to make the perfect man.
Yes.
And like 8 of the world's smartest and some of the most jacked men all beat off in a cup, and they mixed it together and impregnated one woman.
And they made Arnold
And they made
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold, right? And then Arnold finds out later that there was an accidental twin, and it was Danny DeVito. And Arnold's the man. He's a genius. So this guy, to be clear, not coming off very sympathetic, because if I had to guess, he's saying he's Arnold.
He's saying 8 of the world's most handsome and jacked men beat off in a cup, and they made me.
Yeah. And Danny DeVito in the movie, by the way, he's Danny DeVito. He's a con man, but he also gets a lot of pussy in that movie.
He does.
It's kind of crazy how much that's a part of the plot, is that he fucks
He's
so
hot
much.
in that movie. I feel like he's hot.
Yeah, he's not even that
I
fat
remember
in it.
kind
He's
of
not.
being
He's
like
not
weird.
fat, but he's just a tiny man with he's got a full ponytail.
Yeah.
and he's getting pussy. So anyway, that's a little
He's
Twins
like a
primer.
tiny Tony Soprano.
Yeah, he has that vibe
Yeah.
for sure. He's involved with the mafia.
Yeah.
They try, I don't want to spoil too much. Great movie, you should see it. So anyway, this guy's claiming he's Arnold, it feels like. Let's finish the question.
I'm just really happy, man, and things are going really well. But like my older brother, who's like 3 years older than me, he's fat, he's balding, he works like a dead end job that he hates, hates his girlfriend. He's just really he's unhappy in his life, you know? And when I was younger, it would be really cool to hang out with each other, and he was cool. But now it's kind of I don't know, man. I intimidate him or something, or I make him feel bad, and I don't want to make him feel bad. So I try to
You're definitely
not
making
talk
him
about
feel
the shit
bad.
that's going on and how great things are. But then I just feel we don't really connect on anything, you know. And how do I not sun him just by
This
being
guy
me,
sucks.
Yeah,
but
I really.
connect better. What do you think?
I'm so fucking awesome, and
How do
it's
I
causing my brother's serious
How do I not
psychological
stun
problems.
him by just being me?
Yeah,
how do I not fill him with fucking jealousy just by breezing through a room? What do you think?
And by the way, what's his? He's a fucking work from home lawyer.
Yeah,
let's
what the
relax.
fuck kind of lawyer?
Let's
I was
fucking
gonna say
relax.
that's a right there. I was like, that seems like a red flag.
And by the way, pal, you didn't have to frame this as a twin situation, okay?
Yeah.
You're not Arnold. You got an okay job. You probably live in some shitty fucking city. You probably make $90,000 a year, and you think you're rich, and your brother's just kind of, you know, going through it right now.
Your brother's probably like living a real life.
Yeah.
He's living real fucking life. He's probably caused a couple of miscarriages.
Yeah.
He's probably been through some shit. He could write a book. You could do like a motivational podcast for assholes.
Yeah, it does sound like maybe you do subscribe to some of that. Well, you know, I guess he's calling into Stavvy's world, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's not claim he's an Andrew Tate guy or something like that.
Even though we know.
So look, didn't have to frame it twins wise, but it is very possible that I do think that like the sibling dynamic that can lead itself to, because it's natural to kind of compare yourself to your siblings, and it is natural to like, if you feel like if his brother, fat and balding doesn't sound so bad to me personally. That doesn't. I don't know why you had to lead with those two.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird read the room situation.
You know, I think that's fine. I think plenty of flat and balding men are meant to be respected in positions of authority. Absolutely. That's neither here nor there. Dead end job.
Symbols even.
Yeah. Dead end job. Hates his girlfriend. Those are kind of markers of like maybe this guy is depressed. Like this could be a clinical. He's literally clinically depressed. Your attitude is strange. I feel like you're not really trying so hard to connect to your brother, and it seems like
you're disappointed that he's not happy for you.
Yes,
that's what it is.
And you're mad you can't brag more around him. Yeah, it feels like. Which, look, what else do you guys connect with? It's not like when I hang out with my brothers, we don't talk about our fucking careers. We don't talk about we watch fucking dumb movies. We just like we go out to eat, we hang out, we shit on our parents. You know what I mean? Like we do brother shit. I don't have to like and maybe I've helped my brothers with their stuff. Like I've been lucky, like the last couple of years have been good, and I've like helped my brothers out with like their jobs, their careers, whatever. But it's like we don't fixate on that stuff. We just hang out as brothers. Right. And when you see your sisters, I'm sure you guys are just like, you fall into like, you know, you just guys hang out. Like it's not.
Well, they come from a different kind of family.
Okay, everyone is.
Everybody's very achievement focused.
Okay, interesting.
But it doesn't make any sense because nobody's really achieved anything. So it doesn't. So it's like it is all a farce, and that's what this kind of seems like to me. Is it's like, yeah, your brother might be a little unhappy, but it's like when you're walking around being like, I just don't understand why you're not happier for me. Yeah. And he's like, he's clearly in a bad spot in his life, which is temporary, and he could fucking smoke you in the next 2 years. Right. And you'll be feeling like a real asshole.
And
because shit can switch. You know what I mean? It
definitely can. I think you're right, Rosebud, where it's like he's clearly in a bad spot right now. And it's like, well, why not try and fucking help him out of it? Why not talk to him about how he feels? Like I have gotten to, like my brothers have helped me out. I've helped my brothers out when it's like I can tell they're a little bummed, and it's like, and even if they're hard to get to, it's like if you try long enough, your brother will open up to you. Right. But are you just trying to have like surface level interactions with him where it's like, yeah, dude, closed case, you know, made $30K commission. Like, is that what you're trying to do? Or are you trying to talk about buying a new car? But it's like, no, try and connect to him as a human being. Do shit that you guys like together. You know, whatever it was. For me and my brothers, it's fucking dumb action movies. Sometimes taking a little mushrooms, taking some edibles, right? You know, getting dumplings. Like we're very simple people.
You might not be able to talk about all the great shit you have going on, but like, you're talking to your brother. You're not doing a fucking like TikTok.
Yeah.
Just go watch a movie. And if you can't talk to him about stuff, go watch a movie together and like, I don't know, talk about the movie. If there's nothing else to talk about something that has nothing to do with either of you.
Totally. And by the way, my brothers have helped me, like, you know, when I feel like this last couple years, like, have really fucked my health up. My brother's a trainer. He works out. I'm going to Baltimore, and he's going to just help me out. We're going to work out together for like a month. All I'm doing for the month of August is working out with my brother. It'll be nice. We have some quality time together. Like, if you're saying he's fat, he's like, you know, depressed, and you work out all the time, can you pitch like, hey man, come work out with me. I'll show you what I do, or I'll figure some stuff out. There's stuff you could tangibly do if you want to help improve your brother's life. And I think that's what you have to focus on. He might not want to
do that if he's really like, if the dynamic is really like that, where you're, because I'm picking up on kind of a competitive dynamic between the two of them. I don't know if that's
that's true. I guess I'm lucky we have a pretty.
But like, if one of my sisters, if I was feeling the way that I feel right now currently, and one of my sisters was like, "Come over and work out with me," I'd be like, "How about you go fuck yourself?" And call me after.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can read the room, maybe have a slice of pizza with your brother and get him into therapy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but like whatever it is, figure it out and do a little like. You owe it to him if you really want to help him out, and if he's bummed and you're in a great place, you have to do a little bit more of the work. You have to think about how to approach him better. It is, now look, it can be kind of draining when like to really put that effort in, but if you love your brother and you care about him and you really want to do what you want to say, then that's what it's going to take. It's just going to take effort, like anything in life.
Take cues from him and just fucking
be
a good bro.
I've been on both sides of that where it's like, and it's when I kind of see if I'm helping my brother through something, it feels very gratifying when it starts to feel like there's like progress, right? And the same thing, it's like I felt like when I'm finally coming out of it and my brothers have helped me, it's like I'm really grateful to them. So you need to work as the guy who's doing. If you're truly Arnold, prove it by doing the hard. You have to do all the hard work. You have to save your Danny DeVito brother.
Yeah.
Prove that you're Arnold. Prove that you're not a douchebag calling in with a false equivalency on this podcast and actually do the Arnold work.
It's obvious that he does want to connect with his brother, because I feel like you wouldn't reach out if you know what I mean. It's just like coded in his language as his attitude about himself that made us go like, what?
Yeah, But
absolutely. Yeah, it's obvious you love your brother.
Yeah. Hit us with another one, Big Eld.
Hey, Stav, long-time listener, second-time caller. I called in on one of the very early episodes about getting my heart broken after I fell like hard for a girl on a first date. I got past that now. I mean,
he's past
it's been probably 8 months. Haven't really been dating seriously. Just been working on myself, my personal and career goals. Recently, though, I kind of
let's clear him out first.
Hit back some old friends with benefits. Started fucking a little bit again.
Nice.
Hit back some old friends with benefits. Started fucking a little bit again. And one of the people I've been kind of connected with, she's bi, and we really want to do like a threesome with a second girl. But my question is, you already know I got the fucking dick pills on tap.
Nice.
But do I go to those in this moment, or do I just kind of like go for fully enjoying things naturally with like no risk of side effects, but then also risk like completely choking in the moment and then just like completely fucking up this
take the pills,
once in a lifetime kind of
easiest question I've ever gotten in my life
type of opportunity. Just for some extra context, I tried one of these pills so far. It was pretty like awesome. I mean, in the sense of like it did exactly what it was supposed to do, but it was also like my dick was like hella numbed, and I was having like terrible fucking headaches the next couple days. I mean, you obviously like I don't need to fucking explain to
Thank you. I know
the deal. You're obviously.
Did you see the last 15 minutes of my first special?
But let me know.
This is pause this.
Also, another thing.
Literally, this exact scenario is the last 15 minutes of my special. I fucked 2 girls with a soft dick, and it was one of the worst moments of my life.
Yeah.
And then I fucked them with too much of a dick pill, and it was still pretty awesome, even though I felt all these side effects. And my advice would just be Goldilocks with it. Don't take too many dick pills. Just take the one. If you have to deal with a headache, you deal with a headache. You don't want to go into this soft, pal.
No.
You will be regretting it for the rest of your life. Believe me, this opportunity is not going to come around many times. And
obviously, I don't have any experience with this, but I will say when people ask me, like, do you want to do a natural birth? That's sort of the female equivalent of your situation right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point.
I don't need to experience that naturally. No. Give me the drugs.
Yes.
We'll get through it.
Give me the drugs. Let's figure this out.
And I'll walk away from this with a happy memory.
Yeah, exactly. You can hold your head high with your numb-ass, hard-ass dick, pal.
Yeah.
What was he saying at the end?
Wait, yeah. What was the?
Some more.
Me and my friend would be really interested in getting Eldis to our company to speak to us and give us some career advice. This is not a joke, not a meme. I don't fucking care what you have to say, Stav. We'd really, really love to pick Eldis' brain. Eldis, please hit us back if you're interested. You know my number.
That's awesome, dude.
Thanks, Stav.
I like this guy a lot. There's something he's got a good head on his shoulder.
Eldis is like, go to kindergarten with a guy that ends up accidentally getting famous on the internet. That's his big advice. Go to kindergarten and become lifelong friends with a man that has an ironic podcast, and then the algorithm just picked him up and took him to new heights. That's what Eldis will tell you.
Yeah, meet a guy who wins the lottery. And you're set.
This could be the start of my stand-up career. A corporate gig at this
corporate Eldis, charging fucking.
I'm gonna hire JP to write me a tight 10. I'm like, dude, you gotta help me out here.
Eldis charging $1,000 an hour. Hey, listen, man. Eldis is a free. Listen, what he does off company time, that's up to him. But
man, get in my DMs. Come back ready. We'll talk.
Hell yeah.
No, Eldis hilariously has become good at his job somehow. I was never expecting him to learn all this. I was expecting him to be horrible until the end, but
it's incredible.
He really has. This is crazy how good he's gotten at all this stuff. Don't give yourself applause.
Slow down. Let's slow down.
But yes, take the dick pills. Don't be a fool. Just do what it takes. You want to get in there hard.
I'm so curious about the top of this email. I'm so sorry, but I'm just like, really, I want to know.
The top? What do you mean?
I just want to know what I know it's not an email. Sorry, we're reading
the voicemail.
But yeah, I want to know exactly what happened.
The thing he said about getting his heart broken on our first date.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it's been 8 months, and he had to really focus on himself. I'm like, definitely take the dick pills.
I'm trying to think what call that. That may have been on like the first Sam Morrill episode or like episode 1. I don't know.
Did we answer his call?
He's making it sound like.
But either way, if he's been working on himself and his personal and career goals for 8 months, I do think take the dick pills.
Take the dick pills. You don't want to.
To me, reads as like I haven't nutted in 8 months.
Yeah. He started hooking up with his friends with benefits who's going to set him up with a threesome. Don't be a fool. Take the dick pills.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little left.
Hold on. Go ahead, Eldis.
Don't succumb. Go in natural. If you lose it, if your dick doesn't get hard or something,
not worth it.
Not worth it.
I say fuck it.
You say that you're perched in your comfortable relationship. You'll never face this dilemma. You're not in the fucking arena, okay? As a man who's had threesomes hard and threesomes soft, I'll tell you, take them hard every day, okay?
I'm very.
I have had the exact thought. Why didn't I take dick pills? Mashing my semi-hard dick into two hot girls and just having them blow me. Yeah.
I'm very hard on the dick pills. Are a slippery slope, kind of. That's how I feel about it.
Call me Cool Runnings. I'm down that slippery slope, brother. I'm all the way down.
If dick pills are a slippery slope, call me Cool Runnings. Needs to be a t-shirt.
I'm on that bobsled head first.
Oh my God. I wish this guy luck. I believe in him. I do. I think if he takes the pills, he's gonna be rock hard. He's gonna have a great time. And so will they.
So will they. That's the other thing, Eldis. You're talking selfishly. It's not just about you. There's two other people in this equation.
Right.
Every time my dick hasn't gotten hard, I hold my head up high. I don't succumb to social pressure. I don't believe.
That's the Albanian in you, dude.
Let me tell you something. That's like getting two soft dicks. A proud soft man.
I'll never apologize. Sometimes you have an off night. Sometimes you have an off night. There's nothing wrong with it. If it's happening 3 or 4 times in a row. Okay, that's one thing.
Throw him in jail.
Yeah, Eldis, you should. Yeah, this is the guy you want to pay for career advice. The guy who's telling you.
Get in my DMs, buddy. We'll talk about.
I'd rather be with a man who gets hard and hits me than a guy who's soft and is proud of himself. Okay, that's
you need to be humbled by a soft dick a little bit.
A little bit.
You need to apologize just a little bit. You don't have to beat yourself up, but you have to be like, all right,
it's got to be the woman's job to lift you up again after your dick gets soft.
Keep it cool.
You can't be doing it yourself.
Yeah. And listen, what you're talking about in a relationship or a hookup, whatever, yeah, every once in a while, something might happen. Your dick might not get hard. That's natural. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you cannot leave to chance. In my personal estimation,
with a suitcase full of dick.
Yeah. If only. And by the way, this is what you're missing out on. This is the kind of sponsors. This is the #1 show without a dick pill sponsorship. You throw me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Look at this native advertising you could have had right here.
This is crazy.
I know, crazy.
Oh my God.
I'm about to clip this and send it to every dick pill manufacturer.
Do it.
Let's do one more here. How long have we been going here, LD?
We're at 1:39.
Oh, what a great!
I gotta go one to take us home.
Take us home. We've got our friend. Or we got to get our friend Rosie home. She's with child. We don't want to overwork her.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Hey, Stavvy, Eldis. I've got a question about restaurant etiquette. I'm a regular at a Lebanese restaurant and at a Thai restaurant, and I want to know if it's ever okay to ask them to modify an order. I get the same thing at the Lebanese restaurant, a chicken soup with spinach pie.
It's a great order.
I think it'd be great if he just put a handful of parsley and a squeeze of lemon on that chicken soup. And the Thai restaurant, I always get a sticky rice with papaya salad and crispy beef, and I think the crispy beef would benefit from a handful of cilantro and squeeze of lime, maybe a little scallion. But I don't want to overstep my bounds. I mean, I'm a regular at both of those places. The vibe is really cool, especially at the Lebanese restaurant. Owner always has something cool to say when I'm in there. But excuse me, I think the dishes would benefit. I'd be a happier customer, but I don't want to jeopardize my status at these restaurants. So let me know what you guys think, if it's cool or if it's not worth the risk. All right, thanks. Bye.
Damn.
This
man is a well-planned,
yeah,
well thought out. How do you make it out the door in the morning?
This is crazy to me because, like, it's one thing to be like, hey, can I get fries instead of rice, or like, could I get add cheese or something like that? But you've taken it to like the recipe level.
Yeah, it's kind of the phrasing of it is a little. I understand why he thinks it's going to be bothersome.
Well, here's what I'll say. There's nothing wrong with asking for lemon and lime, respectively, right?
Yes.
You can ask for a slice of lemon, you can ask for a slice of lime, you do whatever the fuck you want with it. But when we start talking about
cilantro,
parsley and cilantro and like...
a handful?
What do you tell... You can't tell them what their recipe is. They don't fucking have cilantro. They don't put parsley on it. What the fuck do you want?
A little less scallion?
You can't ask for... that. Now you're getting a little crazy, in my opinion. I think you're good with the lime. I think you're good with the lemon. But
you know what you could do is ask for the recipe. Make it at home with your modifications. See if you can do better. But you could. But that's like if you're a real regular and you're friends with the owner and you're like, look, I get it if you can't do this, but I love this so much. I would love to make it at home. If you're ever down to give somebody the recipe, I'm first in line. You could just say that.
Sure. I think it's tough to ask for a restaurant's recipe. Yeah. I think that's you're overstepping even more.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm a white lady.
I think that I'm hung up on the parsley and I'm hung up on the cilantro personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems, it's just, you can't tell a man what kind of herbs to serve you in his dish.
No.
But you can ask him for lemon. Like, the herbs are not a side dish.
That's so funny. Why is that so funny to me? You can't tell a man what kind of herbs to serve you in his dish.
You absolutely can't.
I think if he it seems like he knows the lay of the land there, and he's a pretty normal regular.
Yeah.
So if he's like seeing constant like parsley, cilantro, whatever the fuck he wants, and he just has a sense that it's like very readily available. Nothing wrong with asking for a little on the side to like put on your soup or something.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's the thing. Ask for parsley and a little extra parsley and cilantro on the side. Phrase it that way, on the side.
You have to do the work here.
You have
can
to
I
do
get,
the work.
can I get a lemon and lime and a little parsley on the side?
Yeah. I think okay, fine.
This needs to be on your dish level, and you got to do the work.
I would skip the little less scallion thing. I would skip saying that.
Yeah. You can't do that, buddy. That's, again, you cannot tell them how to prepare a dish. You can't. It's crazy. But, all right, you're right. If he's got a real rapport with them, you should be like, hey, can I have a little cilantro on the side? A little lime and cilantro on the side? That's, okay. I think that's fine. I like that order. Crispy beef.
That's a fucking great order.
Some crispy beef.
I also totally understand the desire to, like, tell someone how to cook it. Like, I've been very specific recently about, like, the way that I want my dishes.
Yeah, but you're pregnant.
But you could always lie and say that you have a wife that is. That's always a lie you could tell. I mean, I've been telling people on planes I'm pregnant for a long fucking time just to get that aisle seat, buddy.
Tell them my wife's pregnant. She really likes it this way. Then sit down and eat it right in there.
Yeah. Just making sure she'll like it.
Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're good here, Poppy.
Poppy.
Let's see. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been anywhere long enough to be I really just want to be a fucking regular somewhere where they just know you, where you just go in all the time. But I'm just never,
Dude, I was saying that today. I'm like, it feels like a fucking vacation just to be home.
Yeah, it really does. No, like I was so pumped to just like make rice and broccoli and salmon.
I went grocery shopping today. I could have been fucking in the Bahamas.
Felt great. I can't wait to just be in Baltimore working out with my brother and just like cooking like little healthy meals. That's all.
So nice.
That's what my vacation.
You lost weight.
I have not. I've gotten fatter.
You have?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you lost like 50 pounds.
I did 2 years ago, and then I went on the road and gained probably 70.
Oh. Well, you look great, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Jesus, how fat did Rosebud think I was? This is the fattest I've been in a while.
You know what? It's probably I got bigger, and so you look smaller.
I'll take it. That's
what it is. Yeah. I got bigger, you look smaller, and that's just how it actually affects the eyes.
Beautiful recovery there, Rosebud. Thank you so much for doing the podcast. It was so fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking me.
Of course.
So fun.
You're on the road. Where can people find you? Plug whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Milwaukee. Milwaukee Improv coming up. Tempe. Providence, fucking whatever. You can find all my dates at rosebudbaker.com.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go find Rosebud. Go see her live. Pods, whatever, Instagram, whatever you want to plug.
Yeah. Rosebud Baker across the board. All over the place. You can just find me everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go see Rosebud, listen to her stuff, see her stuff.
And you can see my special too, Whiskey Fist.
Yes, Whiskey Fist on YouTube.
Yeah.
Great special. Check her out, and yeah, we'll be back soon. Thank you guys. We love you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.